Sup? We're doing something different. I'm not uploading regularly anyways, but I just played this game and I kind of want to talk about it uh, because like I honestly felt from the start of the match that my matchup was fairly poor because I was lacking in counterplay and flexible resources for reasons I can't go into overall. Um, and when we later discussed the see the whole team from my side and from my opponent's side, um, and I wanna like obviously like any decent player like can play like pretty much their level, um, even just from memory, just from knowing the game, just from understanding concepts, right? Since Pokemon with all its RNG is quite luck heavy anyways, you can't be looking for solid counterplay all the time. Um, but trying to be concrete is still good, and I'll just a tiny little bit think this is better. Um, and I want to use this game to like highlight how powerful having the calculator actually is throughout the game, early, middle, end, but like even just in some crucial points, right? And trying to be specific and trying to be forcing, right? Like not being afraid of giving up mons and playing like in many ways you want to be playing for your own outs, right? You want to be like, okay, what do I need to win? But sometimes you have to be like, okay, I kind of need this to win, but I also need to prevent my opponent from uh, from winning on the spot if they just click SD here or whatever, right? Um, so that's not always possible, right? Sometimes you just have to make the switch and be like, I just gotta deal with the bullshit SD somehow. It is what it is, because sometimes you really don't have another win con. And this game, my win con, like that I saw, is my lead, which is not good because I'm forced to switch out, as we'll see right now, right? We got Dodrio into Hitmontop. I'm not even intimidate. This is heinous. This is heinous. I can't stay in. Um, I'm afraid of knockoff and I'm afraid of Brave Bird. I'm afraid of SD, but I can't stay in. I need this guy. So I make a switch into a mon that sadly doesn't have Rattled. I would have loved to be Rattled, but it wouldn't even have mattered. But I would have loved to be Rattled. Um, to in case of knockout, but I'm not. I'm Serene Grace. It's unfortunate because I does my extension not work for the Dunsparce? Whatever. I don't need the extension anyways. Um, but yeah, I didn't have any switch-ins. I didn't want to switch in an electric type on SD and just be completely fucked. So I go to Dunsparce. My opponent crits, which is quite unfortunate. So I just have to sack it even after Lefty's recovery. So I just start the game out with a loss, right? I now go Evire, which is my only real resist and my only mon that can actually OHKO this guy. And luckily for me, they just go for non-Terra drill run. I would have probably survived after Terra, but I would have lost Evire. So overall good play, I guess. But either switching out or drill run would have been Terra drill run would have been much more threatening. I played around it with Ice Punch, but regardless, Infernape, incredible threat because via my fastest mon just died. I have nothing that outspeeds on my team. This is almost certainly unaware clef, and Hydrapple is not specs, it's set up with lefties, which I personally like more, but unfortunately it's completely blunted by Clefable. Giga Drain wouldn't have helped. I go Vikavolt just to set up my spikes and sack it. I could have went Vikavolt versus Dojeo, but I didn't want to do it because they can much easier switch, or even if they stay in and take the trade, right? And I set my sticky web, then I have to go via reveal a lot of information about my team much earlier than I want to, and they can still kind of just win because I have to invest so much against that Jojo. So I prefer doing it this way, right? Keep a little bit more room for myself. This way I can go Vikavolt. Now that I've set myself up, I can get my sticky web. Luckily that I get in on T-Wave. I expected to take less damage from Moonblast, I'm not gonna lie. So maybe this is T-Wave Life Orb? It could be T-Wave Life Orb, actually. So, but still, I'm still pretty much blunted by it. Yeah, now I go Survivor just to keep my mon. I decided, okay, my sticky web volt switch plan doesn't actually work out. Vikavolt is too frail. But you know, I at least had the idea kept alive. And if I had Kalk, I could have made a better play. Counting for all that, like there was no way for me to safely play around this clef though. So I don't know, maybe the better play was to sack Hydrapple. I don't exactly know why they T-waved. But I mean, I guess it's a good catch-all play, and no ground type is really coming in on you, and I've already revealed one electric. So, but yeah, was fortunate for me. I go Survivor on Moonblast, on expecting another Moonblast rather. There it is. Just because I'm already down a mon. Everything is revealed, right? Two of my mons are completely blunted by Clefable, and one guy is just bad, right? So I expect them to either switch or Terra Steel. I make a double into Vikavolt on Scrafty. It works out. Scrafty is genuinely slower than me, and now I just T-Bolt, and now I Volt Switch. I'm not risking anything. I would have gone Hitmontop otherwise and been like a play for desperation, or Survivor depending on their play, but probably this just this guy. Yeah, now I go for bulk up. I don't really have anything to threaten this clef. I would literally need it to Terra Steel, expecting like a Terra Ice triple Excel crit, right? And I hadn't actually calculated what I should have done earlier, if this is Life Orb or if it's let's check that didn't this murder my recording. No, it didn't. Clefable versus Vikavolt. So yeah, it was Life Orb actually. So I don't know, maybe, but you know, that's like still, I don't even know if a crit can do it. So let's check. I am Hitmon top, right? And I really try to keep everything concrete. We are ice. Triple Excel. Yeah. So a +1 crit, I could have done it, but like, I don't play like that. You can't play like that. So instead, I decide I'm gonna go Hydrapple on a T-Wave, um, and pivot and go Survivor afterwards, pretending like it's a sack or something. Just because Hydrapple isn't winning this game. It's just not. Like, who gives a shit about Hydrapple? I go Survivor, and I just try to force him to Terra Steel to give my Hitmon top value. And if it was Terra Poison, I would be super fucked. Yeah. So I just go for Gunk Shot, and they go for Raikou. I obviously switch to Hydrapple. It's a hard counter. Um, they can't be Terra Blast Ice, so I make a double on this switch into Survivor, because that is my win con. I need this Terra Steel, and here I also predict the knock to make it easier for myself. They go for T-Wave, completely fine play. They make a mistake knocking off. I think they should have tried to get the kill a different way. But now with Flamethrower and them not fishing, I think actually no, actually what I think is the right play here is you sack Clefable. You don't try to save Clefable, because now I just got a rapid spin off, right? So they luckily misplay here, and I calc Comfy does, I think, 22% or something to my Hitmon top. Let's check this. Comfy, right? Like, it does not deal a lot of damage. I'm not AV, I'm lefties. But yeah, okay, it does 15 to 18%, right? So I can generally set up on this. It can't Terra anymore to be scary with let's say +2/+2 stored power Terra Psychic, right? Like, this is when it really becomes dangerous. For me, or like, I guess we can check if +1/+1 can 2-hit me, which no, it can't. You need +2/+2, but like, you did a lot of damage to me, and I burned through my Terra now. It's forced, at least it's forced late, but I burned through my Terra. Okay, they can't Terra Psychic, but like this is when they start doing damage to me. And maybe they can heal. So here I go. I have a chance to kill technically. I don't remember exactly. Maybe I still need a crit, but like, I have a chance to kill. But this way I kill Raikou safely, and I kill Comfy safely, as long as I don't miss, right? And I'm still out of range of an Infernape Mach Punch. Infinite Mach Punch is something that I'm super afraid of, but it does 55% max, so 7% less than I have, and they don't even have it. So I Hitmontop clutches this game with just raw bulk, rapid spinner, and 2 bulk ups and a good Terra choice. But like, um, you know, I couldn't really have played this game without Kalk, right? Without Kalk, I probably would have been afraid and been like, well, I can't really do more than 1 bulk up, and then I would have potentially died to Comfy plus Raikou, and but I misplayed a lot because I didn't use Kalk earlier in the game, right? Like, there was so much for me that I just had to get lucky. My opponent misplayed with the clef. Right, I got the spin. Maybe the spin didn't really matter because I outsped everything at +1, but at -1. But like, I didn't know that beforehand. This Comfy could have been something much more terrifying. Right, and I mean, this looked so scary. This looks so scary. I give up on 1 turn 2. I give up a second one turn 4 because I don't have play. Suddenly a mon appears that that I can't force the Terra, and that beats essentially my two only win cons. Um, I have a semi win condition, but like after that, all I did was need to make plays, and I'm like I don't actually know why they didn't just sack something else versus the Viper later. Like they couldn't sack Raikou against it, obviously. I don't know if Infernape. They were definitely scared of EQ. I didn't have EQ. Um, which I don't think they ever found out that I don't have EQ. No, here they've definitely found out. But yeah, now it's too late. Um, but like, I don't know. They just had to prevent this exact scenario. Maybe they had to Terra Comfy instead, right? You go Comfy, you Terra Ground, you Carmine, you take the hit from the Viper, it's fine, you can deal with it. You're pretty strong, and then you try to win the end game with these, right? Because I mean, Clef just blunts these two. It doesn't matter as long as you keep Clef. Comfy is a much weaker mon. It doesn't have team support abilities, right? So even so after this crafty sack here, or much earlier, um, like I don't know, just go Comfy, because what am I switching into Comfy? I'm staying in, right? Probably because if I switch out, I lose. Uh, Probably. I mean, I definitely can't go Hydrapple, and going Hitmontop is kinda risky. Maybe it's my best play. I don't know. And then do the same shenanigans, Terra, and bulk up immediately. But yeah, I don't know. I think Comfy was a better line for my opponent, in retrospect. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't know what was right, but I mean, I'm so lucky that I actually made them Terra steal this. That's all I wanted to have pressure on. Um, I didn't even see that it was live hop because I didn't check my knock, because I was like, okay, now I know everything, or like now I have everything I need to know. Like it generally didn't matter to me. um, I just needed the Terra steal. Like getting this, all of this was decent, but another thing, my opponent gave me the ability. Okay, that's actually something my opponent gave me that they shouldn't have ever given me. They gave me the ability to spin, which in and of itself didn't really matter, but it meant that I had much stronger counterplay versus Comfy, because I didn't need to give up a tempo for it to calm mind by switching in and out with Hydrapple and Hitmontop, and I couldn't ever Terra steal Hydrapple, because then I lose to Infernape. And if I if I stay in, I just take 1.5 times as much damage from Comfy, which I guess in this match I would have been able to deal with. But also, first of all, I don't know that it's a Comfy, and second of all, I don't know that they that they had a Comfy and not another strong flying type, or Alakazam, or everything, right? They already had a fairy. They had, like, I don't know. Yeah, I got lucky and I won this end game, and that only works because you can calc them, because you can be concrete, right? Like lots of people don't like calc, or like don't like when their opponents use calc, but that is, in my opinion, invalid. Calc is invaluable, and you have to use it. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's all I have. If you disagree with something, or like you think you have another angle to look at this from, um, I would love to hear it. I just talked for 20 minutes about a single random game like MBKC, which uh, Not sure if that's complimenting myself or being ridiculous. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Calc is so important. You have to use it. You have to know when to use it as well, because you can't use calc every time a turn. You don't have the time, and it's hard to objectively explain when you should use the timer to calc, but you should do it like in the middle game. It's not often that important unless you're dealing with setup or spam, like HO, um, like hyper often spam. That's what I mean. Um, but otherwise, you should use it in the early game. I think if you're facing mons that are very flexible and can reveal something about what type of defensive or offensive split they have, and because you can find out a lot of stuff. You can find out if a mon is mixed, even though the mixed attacker is kind of dead. And calcing the early game is much more important when you play Little Cup like me, because of HP investment being revealed by percentage rounding, essentially. Um, though you have to also know like the difference between how showdown calcs rounds numbers and how the calc rounds numbers. Um, a showdown rounds up and the calc rounds down, um, making for easy miscalcs. Um, yeah, or like easy confusion rather, not more than miscalcs. Like you can calc correctly, but you just don't know, or don't realize. And yeah, otherwise, like obviously, like the end game, right? Like whenever you're dealing with a threat, you should calc, because you have to know, well, my mons may be weak to it, but do they die? And can I play proactively and give up give up material? Can I give up something, just to, right? Like even if I get nothing in return, right? I have to technically prevent the threat. It's more important than keeping like whatever shitmon I have on the field most of the time, even if it's my best mon, because right, if you stay in and you threaten the 4 times effective knockoff against Lunala and you get Moongeist beamed and die, it's fine. At least it didn't set up, and now you can still try to cheese a win, even if you're objectively losing. Like even if you know you're objectively losing, you just have to make these calls, because like you get chances down the line, even if it's even if you need to dodge 15 crits and get a crit yourself, like you have odds. And I'm guilty of forfeiting many matches that I shouldn't have forfeited, because I'm just like, ugh, it's a 3%, I'm not playing for that. But you play for those 3%. Like don't be a noob, play for the 3%, don't tilt. It's not over. Even if you 97% know the outcome, it's not over. Like it can happen, and it does happen, and it will happen again. Like it has happened before. So yeah, like don't stick to some nonsense code of honor. Use everything you have.